Good afternoon, Daniel, out there in YouTube land. And good afternoon to TikTok as soon as we get a few folks on here. Oh, my, oh, my. What a day, what a day, what a day. What a day. All right, let's go back here and fill out some of these. Yeah, mlgo, what a monster that was. Wow. And to think some of us had that down at $4.50 range this morning in pre-market. And we thought we were being pretty slick by taking profits. Boy, did we learn a lesson on that one, right? That was sweet. That was a sweet one. Good afternoon, everybody. Silver Fox, good afternoon. Fernando, good afternoon to you. Yeah, mlgo, gosh, what can we say about it? Just won't stop. Just will not stop. I got to get my trend lines off of that from this morning. Those don't even apply anymore. We definitely need to keep an eye on mlgo for after hours. Keep an eye on that one for after hours. Let's see what it does here in the after hours market. All right, we're going to be looking for news here. Let's see what we get. All right. Let's sort this by news. HYZN. Nothing there. Let's go by after hours. mlgo up. HCTI up. Let's see. Boy, there's a whole bunch of them jumping here in after hours. Oh, let me keep up with them. SNES, that one popped up a little bit in after hours. Not much volume there. HCTI also popped up. HYZN is up 12%. Of course, mlgo. We know better. We know we need to watch that one. mlgo still going, 1550. Wow. My goodness. Well, if you didn't catch it this morning and ride that baby out, hopefully you got bits and pieces of it throughout the day. Hopefully. And let's see what it does here in after hours. Maybe it'll pop up. Maybe this baby will run to 20. Who knows? We'll find out, though. MYNZ popped up in after hours. Not seeing a lot of volume come in. HYZN is also up. SNTI also up in after hours. We're going to have to wait until some of these settle down just a little bit. SNTI up 48%, MYNZ up 22%, and HYZN up 22%. Those are the top three right now. And we definitely don't want to let go of watching mlgo and see which way that one decides it's going to go. Looks like it's coming down now. Brad says LiPo is popping, LIPO. It's down at 70 cents. ACET. Looks like ACET popped a little bit and then came right back down again. That stock didn't do much today, but we'll keep an eye on it. PSNY. That one popped up pretty hard here in after hours, but again, don't see a lot of volume coming in after hours. Still watching. HYZN. Here's a little news junket on that one. Preparing to launch large fleet trial programs on both platforms in the US and Canada this summer. Let's keep an close eye on that one. Jeremy, did you sell your NVIDIA or pick up more? I did both, Jeremy. When it dropped down to my 120 area, I got rid of the ones I had so that I didn't take a loss on them. And now I'm waiting to buy more. Damien. Ismail, good afternoon or good evening, good morning, depending on where you're at. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. SNTI, let's take a look at Reverb. REVB. Looks like it's trying to climb up. Jury's still out on that one. SNTI still going. SNTI's up now 66%. Don't know if any of you were watching on that call out earlier, but hopefully a few of you may have grabbed a few. SNTI, that's been in our top 3 here since 4 o'clock. It's the only one that's really stayed up there. The rest of them have fallen down from our top 3 spots. MYNZ correction, that one has stayed up, but that's not really getting any volume right now. But SNTI definitely is popping. We just smacked 50 cents. SNTI, Senti Biosciences. And let's go back. And look at REVB. REVB getting a little push here. It's not doing anything spectacular, but it is pushing up a little bit. ORN announces 3 contract awards totaling a value of $63 million. That's on ORN. We'll see if that can continue. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's look down through. KAVL. KAVL has a $6 million public offering. Systems updates. Chief Officer. Transfer. No interesting news here. So let's go back to after hours runners. SNTI pulling down off of that 50-cent high. MYNZ popped up again. VEV. What is this one doing? There's no volume there. HYZN down. Huh. Nothing spectacular just yet. But we are watching, patiently watching. REVB still slowly pushing its way back up. Stinky, good afternoon. Good afternoon. ORN still pushing their little news on a $63 million contract on 3 contracts. Looks like Goss tried to, GOSS. It tried, popped up a little bit, 5 cents, 5 cent in that range, but it's back down to where it closed at today. So kind of a nothing burger on that one. All right. So we're going to continue watching. As of right now, we don't have anything. Let's look at another press release here. I don't have any news, Buck, on MLGO. Don't have any news on that one. Let's see, SNTI. SNTI is trying to push back up again. It's been the most active one here so far. SNTI pushing back. It's back to 44. We definitely haven't had any good news. That's kind of why we're here, looking for those good press releases in after hours that run these doggone things up. And so far, not seeing anything very spectacular. DJT. Yeah, we talked about that one this morning, AR. And we had a couple of people that jumped in it this morning in pre-market. Made out pretty good on it. They just had, if I remember the news right, they exercised some warrants. They made some money because they exercised warrants. But beyond that, I haven't seen any big news on it. Taco Crunch. My first day, my husband was subscribed to the Wolf Pack, and we made profit. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, Jeremy, that's my guess. FOMO. Wolf, nothing there. Nothing to see here, as they say. Yeah, that is great. First day with us and made money. Gotta love it. Hopefully, there'll be many, many, many more days like that to come. All right, SNTI, nothing there. Let's go back and look at GOSS, GOSS. Let me look at this on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, no. Got to stay away from it for a little while. Pretty good size spread on that one, too. That could drop down. It only takes one seller, and that drops down to 72 cents. So I'd be very leery of that one. We're going to continue looking. News. Pretty slow right now, to be quite honest. AR, cool, thanks. I got it at 25 on Friday. Nice. HCTI, yes, HCTI has been up there in our top 4 or 5 position in after hours. Keeps bouncing around quite a bit, but it is bounced up now. It's up to 72, 71. That should start hitting people's scanners here rather shortly. Another couple of percent points, and I think it's going to start hitting the scanners. That's on HCTI. Get to 72. Still hasn't hit the scanners. Slow but sure climb. It's up to 32% now. These percentages I'm giving out are how much the stock is up in after hours, not for the total day. Let's see. NXL. Let's go take a look at that one. NXL still trying to pull back up. Slow but sure. NXL, slow climb. We're up to 224. Keep an eyeball on that one. NXL. Not saying go buy it. I'm saying keep an eye on it. And if you like it, I just don't want you to miss out on a potential. That's all. Alt. Evero, good afternoon. I'll pop just a little bit. Beyond Meat popped a little bit. Man, I can remember trading that stock. I remember trading Beyond Meat when it was up in the 120s, 130s, $120, $130 range. That was right after it first came out. Well, that thing was a hot stock. It was all over the place. It had some amazing climbs, huge dips, and that was a fun stock to trade. But now it's down to $6. It's been beat down to death. what else do we got? Let's see, alt. Let's go back to the daily. Nothing there. Come on. Looking to see if NXL is going to pop here. So far, no. MYNZ, BTBD. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Very, very slow here in after hours. Convertible notes. We've got a few press releases that are popping up here in after hours, but they're not even worth reading because they're total junk. Nothing that's going to push the stock price up. Those kind of press releases, I don't even bother mentioning them. All right. Looking for a bounce. Excuse me, on NXL. Just looking for the bounce. That's all we're doing there. Yeah, it's a little on the slow side for sure, Scott. After hours here is not. SNTI was about the only one that got our blood excited there for a little bit. MYNZ, that's nothing. HCTI, nothing there. SNTI, climbing back up again. Climbing back up. We're back up to 70% on SNTI here in after hours. Still waiting on NXL to bounce. ACHR. ACHR popped, but it came right back down again. Let's go back to NXL. NXL, we're getting that climb that we were hoping for. Scott, do you color your hair? No, I don't color my hair. If I did, I'd get rid of the gray. No, I don't color my hair. SNTI. Up 80% now. Florida Girl, did you get my email? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'll be answering that email here after we get done with the live. Thank you very much for reaching out. NXL. Well, well, well. That stock was around 215 earlier when I told you to keep an eye on it. And I didn't want you to miss out on any kind of a run on that one. And we just hit 234. Not to say it's going to go any higher. I'm just saying it's gone up quite a bit since I told you to keep an eye on it. Yeah, people pay attention to everything. I mean, everything. People ask me if my hair is real. Now, if I dye my hair, if my teeth are real. Oh, boy. I take it all as a compliment, though. I take it all as a compliment. Even if it's not meant to be, I take it as one. Hair plugs. Yeah, people can be brutal, especially over on YouTube. If you go live on YouTube, you better have thick skin. And I mean thick skin, because they can be brutal. Absolutely brutal. How can you trade live and comment at the same time? Sometimes it's tough. Am I an AI or am I real? Is it live or is it Memorex? How many of you old enough to remember that commercial? Am I live? Is it live or is it Memorex? That was an old commercial. I think that was from the 80s somewhere. Oh, we just cracked open our little can of Dr. Pepper. Probably get banned off of TikTok again for product placement. Still watching NXL. Hope you are as well. SNTI now up 74%. Climbing back up. Be like Jay. In what way, Algo? Shave my head? Oh, me, 1984, 85. Yeah, that was kind of a, oh, his cup. Gotcha. 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 How is Jay doing these days? I haven't seen Jay pop in here in quite a long time. I miss chatting with him. SNTI trying very, very hard. This thing breaks 40, 40. This breaks 45 and a half. I think we're going to see something pretty cool on SNTI. Oh man, it tried. It tried. There's 46. It's struggling right here between 45 and 46. It is struggling. It needs to break that 45 and a half with authority. If it breaks that on good volume, this thing is going to just go crazy. It's just having a heck of a time. It gets up there and everybody sells off. His grape juice, yes. SE, nothing there. Let's go back to NXL. NXL maintaining around 233. I'll have to stop in and see Jay on his live tonight if he does one. And say hi. You should have never Gone to Hollywood. I've been to Hollywood and it's not that cool. Well, SNTI is obviously our top runner in after hours right now. It's up 77%, but it's having a heck of a time. And the other two behind it in the number 2 and number 3 spot, MYNZ and HCTI, both of them are up 20 and 22%, but there's no volume coming in, and nothing else is really doing anything. Let's see, we got some news here. Revenue, says impact sales, TOWE, class action lawsuits. Class action lawsuits. ABL closes their public offering. Sometimes that'll bump a price up a little bit, but not in this case, evidently. So let's go back to our volume runners. We need to get SNTI above that 45.5. I want to see it go above 45.5 on a lot of volume. I want to see that 1 minute volume candle just explode. I just don't know if there's enough traders in the market right now to make that happen, if there's enough people interested in it. Still waiting on news or something to run. Something. NXL. Look at NXL on your 1 minute chart. From that 215 area. See what you think. REVB. Yeah, we got that one this morning. That one might be popping up. Might try to. That was one of those nice pre-market pops this morning. Didn't do much during the day, though. And boy, did it crash here at the end of the day, and right at the close, it really sunk hard. SNTI. Come on. So close. SNTI wants to run so badly. We've just got a lot of orders piling up on the ask side. TC. ORGS popped up into our little radar here. TC. CLSD. Orgs. Yeah, that popped up on a couple of shares. SNTI having troubles. XL. Ooh, NXL just dropped to 235. This breaks above 250 and it's off to the races. It's just not getting a lot of volume. It's going up on an extremely low volume, which means the push up is not very strong. And that tells me that it can be pushed down very, very easily. GLYC. 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 Take a look at that one. GLYC. Thank you very much for that, Rick. I didn't even have that one on my watch list. Thank you. That one's up 30% right now in after hours. GLYC. What kind of floats that got on it? GLYC. 60 million public float, give or take. A few million. RX pushing up. GLYC up 29. Boy, SNTI is just failing on us. It's failing on us. Don't like seeing that. I was really hoping that would get up around that 45 and just really pound that 45 and a half and take off. Still waiting on some news that might do something here. A lot of class action lawsuits popping up today, I noticed. RX pushing up. Take a look at RX. Thank you, Jeremy. That's a $10 stock. Started pushing up around $9.50, and it's up to $10.05 right now and climbing. RX. RX. Not looking good on SNTI. Four green candles after the call out. Now two red candles. GLCY. YC, my mistake. Climbing back up. GLYC pushing back up. We got an insider buy on that one. Let's see if we can break that 34 range. Or excuse me, 35. Need to break above 35 on that one. But it also has a 25% short. RXRX back down to 1006. It's getting a decent amount of volume for a $10 stock. mlgo, let's go back and look at that one. mlgo, been sliding down that slippery slope ever since 4 o'clock. And it's gone up so high today, it's just really hard to tell how far that's going to slide. But boy, was that a nice call out today. We had that in pre-market at 4 something, 450, 460. TGB. Chart looks pretty good on the daily on TGB. Steve? Yeah, that chart looks pretty good. For a swing play, absolutely. On the daily chart just today, boy, it got a decent amount of volume for the day, but it's not a very pretty chart. A lot of up and down, a lot of barcoding, as they call it. It barcoded all day long. That part of it I don't like. But overall, if you pull back and look at the chart and the big picture, it looks pretty good. On NVIDIA, is that still coming down? Losing 7K on that. My goodness, you must have been in heavy up high. Hopefully that's a long-term hold for you and you're just waiting it out to climb back up. I had some at 120 after the split and let it go at 120 so that I wouldn't take a loss on it. Didn't think it would get back down to 120. Got to be quite honest. I didn't think it was going to come back to 120. But I think we're just going to watch it here. It's at 117.40 right now. But I think what we're going to do is just continue to watch it and see just how far down it goes. Going to watch for a trend and see where it starts trending. If it continues to trend downward, we'll continue to watch it. But I see it trending down right now, so we'll just leave it alone for a while and maybe pick some up after it drops for a while. and then starts to curl back up again, then we'll get interested in it again. All right, let's go back to after hours. SNTI, poor thing. MYNZ. RXRX. Luckily, is staying above 10. Looks like it's using 10 as a support area. Yeah, Amy, I thought about it when it went up so high. I really thought about selling and taking profit, but I really did think it would go higher than that. I really did. Yeah, it was up what, 130, 135, 140. It was up over 140 just a few days ago. And probably could have sold. I would have made $20 a share on it, but it wouldn't have been a huge amount of profit. You got to remember, 120, 150, $200 stock, you don't buy a lot of them. Most retail traders, are buying 10 or 5. So it goes up $15. Seems like a lot, but when you only have 10 shares of it, it's not really that big of a profit. So I really thought it was going to go up higher. I really did. I really, really thought it was going to go higher. All right, SNTI curling back up again. Shall we break 45 and a half? Keep an eye on it. It's back to 42 and a half. Can we do it? Can we break through that 45 and a half? Let's see. What else are we watching? Wish I could give you something right now that I felt confident was going to run here in after hours, but not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything that looks all that promising. I'm stocked with GameStop. When's your next trip? I'm going to leave Wednesday. After the live stream. GLYC popping up again. It's back up 28%. Can we break through that 35? We shall see. Heading back up north. I shouldn't laugh. If you knew my mom, you would chuckle. But as a lot of you know, Mom fell a few weeks back, snapped her ankle, broke it in a couple of places, and had to have surgery. Put some plates and screws in there, and they put a cast on it and all that good stuff. But she fell again yesterday, getting out of the car at home The front sidewalk's got a little bit of a slope to it, not tremendous, just a little bit. And rather than wait on my stepdad to get out of the car and come around and help her, get behind her and hold her, and she decided she could do it on her own. And she started walking up that slope and lost her balance. She only got like 2-3 steps and lost her balance, and she fell backwards, whacked her head on the car door. The door was shut, obviously, but she smacked her head on a car. They just bought a brand new car, and I mean brand new, like less than 200 miles on it at this point. That kind of new car. Whacked her head on the door, put a big dent in the door. Oh gosh. And then my stepfather, he couldn't pick her up. She's on the heavy side, and he's 91, and he just couldn't help her up. So they called one of my stepbrothers, and he came around the block and luckily was home and was able to get her picked up and in the house, and she's fine. She's completely fine. GLYC. How many of you watching that baby go? But anyway, I'm going to take a little ride up there. I'm really anxious to test out the mobile stuff again. I'm really anxious to test it again. I think I've got all the bugs worked out, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm really anxious to test it out again and make sure that everything is working beautifully. So I'm using it as an excuse and getting a chance to get out on the road again and get that taken care of. Yes, I will let her know that everybody says get well soon. SNTI, nothing. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of buffering here on TikTok. Sheila said that she was hearing the waves again on TikTok, like there's waves crashing. GLYC. How many of you? How many of you? We're up 47% now on that one. %. GLYC, 53%. It's popping pretty nice. I like to see that pop up all the way up over 45. That would be sweet. I'm going to turn on the AC. Now, that means it's going to get a little bit noisy. You're going to hear the AC running. And hopefully we don't have any complainers in here. I got to get some cold air blowing on me. It's getting hot in here. So if you hear the AC running, I do apologize, but I got to have some AC blowing on me. It's getting hot. All right. I like that GIF, Sandy. Oh gosh. So let's go back to NXL going sideways. RX still going sideways. SNTI trying to push up. That thing just doesn't want to give up. GLYC pulling back. Can't hear you speak up. Oh boy. And it begins. And it begins. Looks like TikTok's going to make me verify my account again. Let's squeeze this over. There we go. All right. I verified my account once again. All right. Boy, that AC feels good. Oh, too funny. What's that you said, Mike? I can't hear you. GLYC trying to push back up. I get a lot of complaints for my AC. Still, thank you guys. Coming to us from the Ocean Research Vessel. That's right. GLYC trying desperately to push back up again. SNTI just had such a beautiful opportunity to get itself back up over that 45 and blew it. Yeah, now we just need the lawn guy outside. We had one day here on TikTok and YouTube, man, people were complaining about everything. I mean, it was, holy cow. I've never seen so many people complain in my life about something. You're fuzzy. You sound like you got waves going in the background or whatever it was. I had somebody email me that same morning after we got done, one of our Wolfpack members, and we were talking about people complaining so much, and he says, I don't get it. You gave them a stock on TikTok and YouTube that ran 150%, and they're worried about the air conditioner. I said, I know, I don't get it. Come to work with me. I'm guessing you have a hot job. I did my time, Bagman. I did my time. I have worked since I was 14 years old. Been paying taxes. Started working at 14. Been paying taxes since I was 16. And I have put in my time. And next year, I might even be able to claim Social Security. How's that? That doesn't even seem possible. I don't look like I'm old enough for Social Security. And this is the part where everybody agrees with me and says, oh, you look great. You don't look anywhere near Social Security age. GLYC trying to push up. SNTI still falling. The air conditioner is preserving me perfectly. You look early 50s. Well, thank you very much, Florida girl. Wow. Wow. Thank you. How old are you, Jeff? I am 61. Believe it or not. 61 years young. Don't look a day over 70. Which state you run that AC? SNTI, having a heck of a time. GLYC, might get it back up to 40. MYNZ, nothing. Huh. Boy, none of my scanners are going off. Everything's going sideways. Man, it got quiet. It got quiet in the after hours markets here, did it not? Almost kind of spooky quiet. Nothing's running. There's no volume coming in anywhere. It got really, really quiet. Wow. MBio moving. Nope. NVIDIA down at 116 now. How low will it go? LPL on Momo. Well, that sank down to $4. GLYC. Let's go back and look at that one again. There we go. Finally broke above that 40-cent mark. 41.4, 41.5. LPL. I don't see that one popping up on Momo anywhere. Huh. Might have my settings different. GLYC is our top runner right now. It's up 55%. SNT had to take a back seat. It is now in the number 2 spot. Still up 50%. 48% now. 47%. They're dropping. They're dropping. Rick says GLYC is going to 50. And he could be right. It looks like it's got juice in the engine, man. It just might. It's hard to say. 41.7. $42.9, 43. How many of you are playing GLYC? Anybody? $43.5. It's looking pretty slick here. Good afternoon, Luke. And yes, the old guy's at it again. Wayne got it at 35. Zach, good afternoon. $43. We hit 43.9. Let's get up 45. We might get that 50 cent just yet. GLYC. GLYC is now up 64%, 65%, 68%. Nice little pop there to 45. It is off and running. It is off and running. Beautiful climb over the last 7 minutes or so. Let's see if it's got any more left in it. We hope so. It's more reading off some press releases here that don't amount to anything. A lot of class action lawsuits. Investors Day. Class action lawsuits, more of those. Class action lawsuits. Yeah, a lot of class action lawsuits this afternoon in the news. Which are all fluff, by the way. Not to be taken serious. Let's go back to after hours runners. 45.3 on the ask. We just hit 46.4. Rick says his crystal ball is telling him 50. Let's hope. Let's hope. Jada Boss 49ers, yes, we are doing stock trading. Right now we're working on after hours. We're looking for press releases. Little companies that put out news in after hours that cause the stock prices to go up. And also anything else that happens to be running. Right now we're watching GLYC. We've got some folks in that in our community. We're up about 69% right now on that one in after hours. We were watching SNTI. That one ran pretty nice. That one started out around 26 cents and ran all the way up to 50 cents. So it was up a lot. That was a really nice one. Yes, I used to. I'm retired now. I retired about 3 years ago. And I do this now to help other traders. Especially newer traders. Ed got GLYC from 38 cents to 46. Nice. That's a nice trade, Ed. Well, I can promise you, if you tune in with us, you're not going to get... this isn't a place where you're going to get a lot of smoke blown up your rear end, if you know what I mean. And a bunch of empty promises. It's definitely not a get rich quick overnight kind of thing. But if you want to, really kind of dig into it and learn the fundamentals of it and spend some time getting it all figured out and how to do it, definitely the right place. We have a community of several hundreds of people, and everybody in the community is sharing stock ideas, watching for press releases, and they all get shared with the group, and everybody benefits. GLYC. Boy, we almost got to that 50-cent spot. We got up to 47.7. We just about got there. Retired so young. Yeah, I retired at 58. I decided it was time to stop punching the clock at 58. I was trading and working full time And the fortunate part for me was I was working a second shift job. So I didn't have to leave for work until noon. So I could trade all of pre-market and then trade from 9:30 to noon every single day. So I was trading pretty much full time and then working full time. If I had worked a day shift job, it wouldn't have worked. I wouldn't have been able to do what I did. So I was very blessed and fortunate. But I just got to the place where I made enough trading that I didn't have to work anymore. And decided it was time to hang up my supervisor's belt and call it a day. Trading is going, pre-market wasn't too terrible this morning. We had quite a few runners this morning, but they were very quick in, quick out, because they went up and came right back down again. So it wasn't terrible in pre-market. Oh, let's see what our little NXL. Huh. Anybody paying attention to NXL? That's the one I told you to pay attention to when it was $2.15. We just hit 247. Not a lot of volume on it. Like I said before, it's going up, but it's not going up on a lot of volume. How much money do I need to start strong trade? What's a realistic goal? Really, a realistic goal is really going to be based on how much you have in your account. If you want to look at it in terms of percentage, realistically, I'll probably get a lot of flack for this. You're going to have days that are up. You're going to have days that are down. That's just part of stock trading. You're not going to win every single time. Let's be clear about that. I think if you could make 5% overall for a week, I think that would be realistic. Again, when you first start out, you're going to lose money. When you first start out, there's no question about it, no ifs, ands, or buts, you're going to lose money. You're going to have those days when it's just not going your way. But I think realistically, you could do 5% a week. It's not unrealistic. There's going to be weeks where you make 70%. There's going to be weeks where you're down 5%. So it all sort of averages out. But and again, those amounts, 5%, 4%, may not seem like a lot, but it depends on how much money you're playing with, how much money you're investing. 5% of $10 isn't much. 5% of $100,000, pretty good sized chunk of money. So you see what I'm saying? How much in terms of dollars depends on the size of your account. But in terms of percentages, I think 5% would be realistic. How much money do I need to start? Well, to start, you need to start with a small amount. Highly recommend starting with a small, whatever small is to you. whether that's $100 or $500 or $5,000, whatever you consider. Think of it this way. Think of it like going to the casino. You remember the old saying, you don't take more than you can afford to lose. You don't take your bill money, you don't take your electric bill money, you don't take your car payment money to the casino hoping to run it up higher, right? Never do that. No different in the stock market. Don't put money in when you're first starting out. You don't put money in that you need for bills. You put extra money, anything that you've got extra. So that's going to vary for some people. Some people, an extra amount might be $100, and for others it might be $5,000. It depends on your economic situation. But start with a very small amount until you learn. Now, how long does it take to learn? Honestly, for me personally, to get from absolute newbie, first day trading, first trade, to the point where I felt comfortable enough to put quite a bit more money in and get a little bit more aggressive with my trading, to where I felt a little bit more comfortable in my decisions. Like I really kind of had the hang of it, if you can say that. It took me about 3 years. Now it might take somebody else a lot less than that, depending on how quick they are to pick things up. I had to learn on my own. I didn't have anybody mentoring me. I didn't have anybody like that. I had to learn everything on my own. I watched YouTube videos a ton. I watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos on every subject under the sun, and I highly recommend doing the same. You can learn for free. Don't ever pay a site, one of those internet gurus. Don't ever pay them to teach you how to trade, because you don't need to. You really don't need to. Everything you need to understand about trading is free on the internet. Just do some research. It's really that simple. But it took me about 3 years. Again, because I had to learn on my own. I read books, every book I could get on day trading, swing trading, long-term investing. I learned about the S&P, and I just dove into it, and it takes time. It's like anything else, man. You can't you can't expect to be an expert overnight. One lucky trade doesn't make you an expert. It makes you lucky. And you just have to take time to learn. And for me, it was about 3 years, give or take, about 3 years. But keep this in mind. After that 3 years was up, and I really started feeling comfortable, and I felt I was actually making a little bit of money, from year 3, now let's fast forward 5 years, I was able to retire. So it took me 3 years to learn, and then another 5 years, and I made enough to retire on. So it wasn't an overnight thing. And honestly, if I hadn't taken those 3 years to really learn about the craft, if I hadn't taken those 3 years, I wouldn't have been successful at all. Because it does take time. Have you ever blown up your accounts? Yes, I have, money. Yes, I have. When I first started trading, it's just an inevitable part. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started trading was not getting out soon enough. Learning how to let go. Learning how to say goodbye. That was the one mistake that cost me more money than anything else. It wasn't a bad decision. It wasn't anything other than not letting go. Once I figured that out, once I got that discipline in my trading plan, it was a game changer. It was a night and day difference in my overall percentage gains for the week, for the month. It was just learning how to let go. Too many new traders, retail traders, they get in, they get on the wrong side of the trade and it starts to go down, and they don't have a plan in place. They just wing it. And the stock price drops and they hold on because they think it's going to go back up again. So they hold. And they got everybody on social media saying, hold the line, hold the line. Diamond hands, you got to hold, you got to hold. And they want to go along with the group because they think the group, it's that group mentality. They think they got to go along with the group, and they hang on. And then it gets so low that what do you tell yourself? Oh, I can't let go now. I'm down too much. How many of you been there where it's gotten so low, you're down so far on it, you actually tell yourself, well, I can't let go now. I'm down too far. I can't take that kind of a loss. I know you've been there. Every retail trader has been there at least once where you've told yourself, well, I can't let go now. I'm down too far. And the honest answer to that, and my statement to that is, if you've let any one stock drop so far that you're telling yourself, I can't let go now, I'm down too far, you've held on way too long. Like, you should never, never, never hold on to a stock so long on its dive down that your brain switches gears and says, you can't let go now. You're too far in the hole. You'll lose too much money. You need to get out of that. You need to get out of that mentality of holding on that long. And that's where your trading plan comes into place. You've got to have a plan in place. You've got to tell yourself, okay, I'm in at this price. If my investment drops 2%, 3%, whatever number you come up with, and you got to do the math. Do the math. Look at your total account size. Look at how much money you can afford to lose per trade. Do the math. And you've got to cut your losses. When it drops down, if you've made the decision that any one stock you jump into, if it falls 2%, you're out. When it hits that 2%, you've got to get out. You've got to stick to your plan and get out. Now, does that mean you might lose 4 times in a row? It might. It might mean that you lose 4 times in a row. But you've cut all those losses very, very short. So you've got 4 very, very short losses. Now follow me. But you get into that one trade where you buy in and boom, off it goes. Now you lock in profit on a big gain, and guess what? That one big gain outweighs and wipes out all those tiny little losses. So you can have 5 trades, follow me here, 5 trades, and 4 of them are crappy trades. 4 of them go south on you. 4 of them you take losses. 1 trade goes up and you've gained back all your losses and then some. So it's not about how many you win or lose in terms of numbers. Like, I got in 10 trades, I lost on 8 of them. And people will say, well, sure, you're not very good. Yeah, but 2 of them I made over 200% on. So, and those 8 that I lost on, the losses were so small that I wiped out my losses. See, that's the key. Maximize your gains. I know you hear this all the time. Maximize your gains, minimize your losses. Take those little tiny losses. Small losses, big gains when you can get them, and you'll come out ahead. Where you won't come out ahead and you're going to blow up your account and you're going to lose all your money and you're going to get discouraged and want to quit is when those losses, those 4 losses are not tiny. Those 4 losses are huge because you held on too long. 4 massive losses you can't get back. It takes more than just one really nice one to make back all that money you lost. It takes 2, 3, 4 big ones to get back all that losses. And that's hard to do. So the trick is small losses. Take those little tiny losses. And I know it's hard. It is so dang hard. It was probably the hardest lesson I had to learn when I started trading. Little losses. Because it sucks letting go. You put $200 into a stock and it starts to dive. The second you get into it, it starts to fall and you just go, my God, what is up with me? I can't seem to get into a good one. And you get discouraged immediately and your brain will tell you, well, just hold on. Just hold. It'll go back up. It'll go back up. And so you hold on to it. And it'll fool you every time. It's no different than when you go to the casino and you've put $200 in a machine and you've lost it all. How many of you been there? You put $200 in a machine and you've lost it all, but you still got $100 or $200 in your pocket. What is your brain telling you? Well, just play that other 200. You'll get it back. You'll win it back. Just a couple more spins. I'll hit. Just a couple more spins. And so you keep feeding it, and you keep feeding it, and you keep feeding it. Next thing you know, you're down $400 on a slot. And then what do you say? Damn it. I should have stopped when I was at 200. If I'd have just stopped at 200, being down 200, I could have lived with that. I could have lived with that. But now I'm down 400. It's like putting money in an ATM machine, man. You're just, it's all up here. It's all up here. It's psychology. You've got to train your mind that it's okay to take a loss. It's okay to take a loss. It's okay. But you've got to take small ones. Taking those big, massive 40%, 50%, 60% losses on a stock, it's not good. It's not good. You can't let that happen. So it's all up here. You've got to train your mind to let go. Let go. I'm perfectly fine taking 5 losses in a row. I'll get into 5 stocks and all 5 of them will start to drop after I get in and I think, God bless it, and I'll get out and I'll take the loss. I'll take the big L, right? On 5 in a row, and it doesn't bother me because I know that 6th one, maybe that 7th one is going to be the one that I play properly and it goes crazy and I make back all those losses and I wipe out all the losses. So that's just my philosophy on it. And I hope that helped. I hope that touched somebody. And I was speaking, I hope it felt like I was speaking right to you if you're in that situation. And I only have to just affect one person's, have the light bulb go off and go, man, he's talking directly to me. And that's exactly what I do. I do that all the time. And if just one of you here's what I'm saying, then I'm happy. Brian, time for a $500 challenge. $500 challenge. GLYC, to 46. We might get it back up there. Let's see if we can get back to 47. Ooh, 40. We just smacked 47. Come on. 50 cents is on the horizon. $47.4. Come on, push, baby. This is where it's having trouble. Don't give up. Do we have enough buyers coming in, hitting that ask price? That's the part that's going to make the difference. I put 1K on crypto penny stocks like Shiba and Dogecoin, but I keep losing money. Yeah, I don't trade crypto at all. I used to trade crypto somewhat. I did it for the weekend, so I had some charts to watch over the weekend. GLYC. Having trouble at 47, man. It just can't seem to get over that. SNTI, still struggling. MYNZ, AWIN, AWX. What do I do with $2,000? Well, I don't know. If you're interested in trading, GLYC, we just broke past 47. 48.5. Let's see if we can hit 50. Louisiana boy. I don't trade just specific sectors like oil or commodities or any of that kind of stuff. I trade primarily on news, press releases. So if a company puts out a press release in the morning, a really good press release, and it's going to cause the stock price to go up. If it happens to be an oil stock, great, but I don't specifically just trade in certain sectors. I used to. I'd trade oil, all the companies in oil, all the companies in CBD, or I'd trade the companies doing gold or silver because those sectors were hot. But I have found overall, in the big picture of things, in terms of percentages, I do better when I trade on news, regardless of what sector it's in. All right, let's go back to... Well, we got NXL up to 250. From 215, that's not bad. Not bad at all. 48.8, 48.9 on GLYC. Do we hit 50? Do we get a winner chicken dinner on GLYC? Come on, baby, push. We're up 80% on that stock just in after hours. We just hit 49. We smacked 49 ever so quickly and gently there. 49. We've got to get it up there. 49. Come on, babe. Give it to us. Don't fall down now. I want to see that 50 cent get smacked. Mike Mack, thank you very much. I'm glad that meant something to you and got something out of it. Sometimes I feel like I over explain things and run on my mouth about certain things that nobody's interested in, but it's always, and maybe nobody is interested in what I have to say about stocks, but and about trading in general, but they're all, to me, they're very important because they were lessons that I had to learn when I started out. So I know that other people go through the same issues. And I figure if other people are going through those same issues, then I didn't have anybody telling me what to look out for or mentoring me. So if I can do that for somebody else, man, I'm happy. I'm just thrilled to death. And the main thing is I don't want to see anybody get burnt, man. I hate to see, it always breaks my heart when I see a Wolfpack member even say, boy, that stock really, destroyed me, or it blew up my account, or it really, I really get hurt, my heart hurts because it makes me feel, because I've been there. I know what it's like, and it sucks so bad. All right, GLYC, struggling. Well, you know what? It's pretty slow, and I have actually spent most of it running my mouth here. We really don't have anything running. We don't have any news out that's doing anything. It's actually a pretty slow after hours. And I honestly think I need to go to Dairy Queen and get an ice cream cone. That sounds like a hell of a way to end the day for me. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think a Dairy Queen chocolate cone sounds amazing. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go get me an ice cream cone. All right. Well, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning on the website at 6:45 a.m. GLYC pumped. Did it go up again? Yeah, okay. But you guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys on TikTok and YouTube at 7:30 tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Time. If you'd like to join us sooner than that, at 6:45 to catch that first round of press releases at 7, you're more than welcome to join us. Just pop over to the website and subscribe to live trading. And the website is wolfpackcommunity.com. wolfpackcommunity.com. There's a link to it on our YouTube channel. There's a link to it on TikTok. On my main profile page, you'll find it on there. But go to the website and subscribe to the live trading on the website, not on TikTok, on the website. And then you can join us at 6:45. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning.